Well, I would have liked to have gotten started quite a bit earlier. I had some computer issues. Took me a while to get them sorted out. But here we are. Everything's fine. We're going to do some ROM hacking on StarTropics 2, Zoda's Revenge. I'll get into what we're doing in a little bit here. Let's take a look at the game. We get a little bit of backstory. Mike Jones is a junior in high school now. For those who haven't played the first StarTropics, Mike had a crazy adventure in the South Seas. Saved his uncle, got involved with some aliens. And now the story continues. Dr. Jones, who saved, has been looking into some of the things he found while he was researching. Mike is the oldest of the space children. I remember her right from the very end of the first game. And it looks like she might play a larger role in this one. I have never played this before, save what I did earlier to prepare for this stream. I made a character earlier. I guess I didn't save it. I guess I didn't save it, and that's why it asked me to do that again. So we got this intro sequence. Getting to know you kind of stuff. So Micah contacts Mike. The graphics are pretty impressive in this game, and that makes sense because it was released in 1994. Well into the life cycle of the SNES. Amazing. Anyway, so that's StarTropics 2. So I'm going to show you what we're doing. Our goal. Now we're starting late, so I don't know if we have enough time. But we'll take a look anyway. So I'm going to load a save state and turn the game's volume up. Okay, so you can hear it, right? This is what we want to disable. The enemy beep. So normally no beep. When you got enough health, no beep. For those that have played Zelda or several other NES games, you know what the beep is. So this is the beep here. The beep gets worse when you throw your weapon. It beeps every time you throw the weapon. I have no idea why. Must have something to do with the sound engine. At least that would be my guess. I don't know why you would design it that way. But it's pretty annoying, so we're going to try to turn the beep off. And there's a number of ways we could approach this. And I don't know what way is best. I haven't looked at the code at all. I got set up to disassemble. So we'll be able to read assembly for the code in the game that we're interested in, which should be good. And I took a couple of save states and code data log files to prepare for this. So the first thing we're going to do is try to find the location in RAM that corresponds to the amount of health that Mike has. And the reason we're doing this is then we can set some breakpoints to see when that value is read. By doing that, we might be able to find the code that plays the sound when the value is too low. It might be easy. It might not be that easy. We'll find out. So my first attempt to do this will be using this RAM search tool. We get this with FCE Ultra. Lots of emulators have similar tools. This lets us look at RAM values over a period of time and isolate ones that are moving or changing in ways that we know that the value we're looking for is changing. We can narrow it down. So right now, all RAM is eligible for our search. We got to narrow it down. So what do we know about the health? We know it's not changing right now. It's not changing every frame. So let's go ahead and eliminate stuff that is changing frame by frame. I haven't used this in a while. But I think if we search for stuff that's not equal to previous value, sorry, is equal to previous value. We want to remove stuff that's not equal to previous value. And that should get rid of a fair amount of stuff. Here's what I'm talking about. So we've got stuff that's changing every frame. So we want our first search to get rid of those, because we know those aren't going to be the health, because they're moving all the time. For a search, those go away. And we can do this a couple of times. These are changing more slowly. We can do this again. We can get rid of stuff that has no changes. Sorry, that has more than one change, because we know the health hasn't changed yet. 18 changes. So let's say we're going to keep stuff that has 0 changes. Number of changes equal to 0. We're keeping that, so we're discarding anything that has changes. Now let's get rid of anything whose value is 0, because we're pretty sure that 0 is not full health. I would think full health is going to be some 8-bit value probably, meaning from 0 to 256, 255 I mean. But empty is probably going to be 0. Full is going to probably be 200 something. So let's say specific value is not equal to 0. Okay. Narrowing it down. There's still a lot of RAM here. So now we're going to take a hit. Take a hit from an enemy, and then search for something that's less than what it was before. So we'll take a hit. Okay. We took 2, but that's fine. So now we're going to search for stuff that is less than the previous value. So we're looking for a value that's less than the last time that we press the search button. There's still a lot of things, but not too many. We're down to just a handful now. So let's take another hit and do that again. Okay. All right. Now we are possibly in business here. Our candidates are 1F, and let's take notes in our little pad here. 1F, 112, 530. I'm not sure any of these are going to be it. We may have to do this a couple of times, try different things. But okay, 1F, that's the first value we're looking at. So let's take another hit and just watch that. And that's changing while we move, so that looks like Mike's coordinates, probably. Or position, or something like that. Something to do with his position, but that is not what we're looking for. We'll look at 112 and 530 and see if we have any luck there. Not changing all the time. Let's take a hit and see if that changes. Okay, that does. So that is looking good. Let's take a few more hits. But before we do that, let's look at 530. Let's see what the value of 530 is. So 530 is moving with health. But I'm not real sure what it means. However, it also moved when we changed rooms. And it changed when we changed weapons. So 112, RAM location 112. looks like what's going on here. Thank you for that follow. $112 appears to be health. So this can be tricky because it could be a temporary value. Could be being copied back and forth from RAM. That's how Blaster Master was, which is the only other game that I've done any ROM hacking for NES. Let's take a look here. So now that we know it's 112 or suspect it's 112, we can start looking into code that reads and writes that value. Abby Jams, welcome. Little Zoda's Revenge, yeah. I'm just getting into this one. I've done ROM hacking streams over the past few weeks for Blaster Master, as I got into that. But this is the first one for Zodas. And I'm actually doing this for somebody else to disable the health beep. Welcome in, Abby. Good to see you. Yeah, health peep is pretty annoying. It's aggressive and it's inconsistent. And that was... here it is. So, as I remember, the first game is like this also. Where you start firing your weapon and the health peep goes along with it. So I don't know why. Maybe we'll find out. Alright, anyway. So there's a lot of ways we could look into this. First thing I'm going to do is just add a breakpoint in the debugger to break whenever we read that address. So presumably, how this works is there's code that looks at what's in the address, and if it's less than some value, 3 or whatever, it starts beeping. Now, we might be able to do this a smarter way, so... Health is 10 right now. When does it start beeping? Like, at what value does it start beeping? Let's find out. It's 4. Okay, it's 3. So at 3, it starts beeping. So we can add a condition. So you get a breakpoint when this is red, 112 when that's red, and when, I think this is it, when the value is less than 4. I believe that's a way to set that condition. So no hits there. Let's take away the condition and see what happens. No hits there either, which is pretty weird. I would think that there would be reads to that address. Okay, so at this point I think something's wrong. Probably not though. There's probably another value. Like this is maybe the permanent value and there's a temporary value that is read and written from. So let's leave the breakpoint and then start taking hits and see if we can figure that out. So let's let's just leave the read and write breakpoint for 112, take a hit and see what happens. And there could be a lot of results. E8. Store to E8. So E8 may be the other variable that stores this that we're looking at. Let's check it out. So here we're loading 112 into the X register, loading E8 into the Y register. Comparing the accumulator, which is 0, to 112. And if they're equal, we do something, but it's not equal right now. Let's keep going. A5. A5 may also be of interest. Okay, so there's just a few instructions per frame that read and write this value. Let's disable this one and then go to E8. And let's try that again. Let's set a condition for when it's less than 4 and see if we have any luck there. No, because E8 is also used for some other stuff. Okay, so let's look at this a little more closely. EF is also involved here. This is somewhat interesting because this value is 4. The value that's located in memory location EF. This checks and sees if it's 0. Could potentially be a death. Now we're back to before. So let's check out some of these also. We looked into E8. Let's look into A5 and EF. We'll do the same thing, set conditional breakpoints for them, read and write, and see what happens. There's a lot of activity in EF. Let's disable it for now. And A5 isn't showing us anything either right now. So I'm going to think about this for a second and decide where to go next with this. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes in RAM search here. I'm going to try to see if there are any other values that take on the exact same values that 112 does. So 112 is 10 right now. We'll find all RAM locations whose value is 10 at the moment. Then we'll take a hit and find all of them whose value is 9. Or 8, I guess, since we took 2 hits. And 112 comes up again. Alright, so 112 is our best shot here. The best shot we have so far. Let's set that breakpoint again for the read and write. I'll go through that code again. I might look at it a little more closely. Oh, and let's go ahead and get down to beeping status before we do that. Now we're beeping. So 112 is not actively read during the beep status. So what that tells me is that when we take that hit that puts us into beep status, that value is probably transferred over to somewhere else to tell it to beep. So it's not read every frame after that. So let's see if we can figure that out. So I want to be almost beeping, but not quite beeping, and then take a save state there. Okay, now I want to do a save state. So I'm going to take a save state and then set that breakpoint, and we want to see what happens during this frame. So turning that breakpoint on, and now when we take the hit, this value is loaded, and somewhere in all the code that's following for the rest of the frame, I think we're going to set some sort of RAM value or flag or indicator that says start beeping. Now there might be too much code to step through, I don't know. But we're going to step through a little bit of it and see if we can find a condition that looks for this. This looks suspicious. Thinking music. So what this does is load EA, which is 3, into Y. And then it compares that to 112 and does branches based on whether they're equal, less than, greater than. Work on a subroutine, let's step in. Mishra's Masterpiece, welcome. How are you doing, Mishras? Irritated? Is it job stuff? I'm doing fine. Happy to be doing some ROM hacking. Let's take a look at this value for A5. and see if it changes. Oh, that's too bad. Sorry about that. When do you start the new one? Yeah, so you gotta hang in a little bit there, huh? A5. Let's see how these change. A5 changes to 1 when we start beeping. Let's look at E8. No change. EF. No change. 7-7. Seven, 7 is 6. Okay, it's 2 when we jump down. So 7-7 is probably our... It may track like what height you're on. I don't think it's related to what we're looking at. And let's take a look at 530. That does change from 1.6 to 1.5. I'm not sure if that means anything. Probably not, because it changed to 4B when I threw the whatever. The thing that I threw. So let's set that breakpoint for A5. All right, low bat. You're welcome. Okay, we're going to look into this A5 value, but before we do that, actually I was talking to my friend Lobat here the other day, and StarTropics 2 came up, and we were talking about the annoying health beep sound. So I said that sounds like a challenge. So we're going to try to disable the annoying low health beep. So Lobat can potentially stream this. Everybody definitely check out Lobat's channel. We have a good time over there. Nursing a migraine, huh? Sorry to hear it. No trouble so far, except I got started late because I had some computer issues earlier. You're welcome, we'll figure it out. At least I think we will. How hard could it be? So we have this code that loads A5. And an A5 is normally 0. If A5 is not 0, then we take a branch and we do something else. So I'm going to exclude this address from the breakpoint condition, so we don't hit this anymore with seed. Do we do anything else with A5? Yeah, we do. There's some other stuff going on. But let's take a look at this address, FO43. Oh, before we do that, I want to see when do we write to A5. So I'm going to take away the read here, just put it on write. I'm going to take that hit. Okay, so A734 in bank D. So let's remove this instruction. We'll remove this instruction, the store, so that we don't store anything into A5. So we won't store the 1 there when we take that hit that brings us under 2 hearts. We'll leave everything else the same, and we'll see if this does anything. No beep. So that means that when A5 is 1, we're going to beep. So this might be all that we have to change. I don't know if this breaks anything else yet. Let me clean up my breakpoints here. I'm trying to set a breakpoint here a few instructions before what we changed. It's not setting it, I don't know why. Anyway, we can just read the code. I'm going to undo that change right now. Now we hit our breakpoint. Okay. So we're in this subroutine. The A register is 3. That's our current health, so that's probably been loaded from that 112 memory location. We're loading a value to X register. We're overriding A, so the value of A doesn't matter. Here we're loading our current health into the X register. Current health is 3. It's now 3 after taking that hit. We compare it to EF. If current health is less than or equal to, less than EF, which is 4, then we do this stuff. So A is the current value of A5, which is 0. We OR it with 1, meaning we set the low bit. Then we branch if it's not equal to 0. That's what makes us beep. Then and FE. Why do we and FE? Oh, we don't. We skip that. We skip that because we are beeping. And then we store the new value of A. So this is probably the instruction we want to remove, because the other bits, the other 7 bits of A5 may be used for something else, but it looks like this low bit is what makes things beep. Let's change this to inops. That way anything else that happens to A5 will continue to happen. And no beep. So it works. So we can make an IPS file that makes this change. It patches the ROM and makes the change. No beep, just death. Everything's fine, then you're dead. So that's what we'll do. We'll make an IPS file. Something I'm going to do before that is to look into the use of A5. Because it's conceivable that this low bit of A5 could be used for some other behavior. And maybe we want to know before we change it. So let's take a look at A5 here, and let's just start looking at code that uses it. Now for this, it may be better to look at the database and then to trace it in the debugger. So we can give that a shot. Oh, stand by, I got to do something. So we'll load the ROM file. I made a database from a few frames of instructions. We can search through that and search for usages of RAM location A5. And we can try to get a sense of what happens, what its purpose is based on that. So find access address equals A5. And there's not too many results, which is nice for us. Not too much to look for. In fact, in this database, there's only one address, only one instruction. But I would think that there should be more, so our database may not have enough information in it. Okay, so it only happens when we take a hit, so. I guess we don't really have to worry about it. It only changes when we take a hit. It only gets read in this one place. So we can look at this code. This code is probably just going to be what tells it to play the sound, ultimately. But let's take a look. So we're looking at these instructions. This is wrapping across the screen. I'm going to make it a little smaller so we can see it. You know what I'll do actually is I'll turn some of this information off. I'll turn the frame number off also. Okay, so that makes it a little easier to see what's going on. So what's probably happening here, this database is captured from a trace log, and this is probably over several frames, however many frames this list is. These are all the reads for this value A5. And they're isolated, so it's not showing the code around it, it's just showing each time that this instruction happens. So once per frame. So you can see the record 1156, record 10,683. There's like that many instructions in between the two. We're not seeing everything that happens in between. So we can just grab one of these. We'll say find record ID between, well, let's do this. Let's we'll just pick this one. Okay, so we'll say our ID is 629619. That's the second to last instruction, and we'll find ID between RD minus 10 and then RD plus 10. So we'll just see the code around it, the instructions that happen around it. Okay, so here's that load, and here's all the stuff that's happening around it. So we can't tell what's going on well enough. We need more context, so let's say plus 100. All right, so, and we can kind of follow this through and see what happens. Normally, this is 0 as we established. It turns to 1 when the health beep starts. So when it's 0, we don't take this branch. We do something else. And then when it's 1, we do this whole business here. So we're loading something into Y, loading this value into Y, increasing it, shifting it left. Branching. This may just be like a delay, a timer, I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't tell you what goes on. But we loop this, we loop for a bit here, and then we do this. So we load into A register the value at 04B9. Oh, hi, you here to be a good luck kitty? Yeah, you sweet girl. Alright, cat percent. I'm glad, yeah. Let me know if you have any questions, everybody. Questions are always welcome. I don't mention that enough, but I'm always happy to explain anything. So we load this value. If it's positive, we do something, but it's not positive. It's negative 8. O is a negative value. Negative 127. Hey, you can't rub your face on the keyboard. No. We're programming. You can't do that while we're programming. Ooh. Somebody wants first dinner. Okay, we'll feed you in just a couple of minutes once we're done looking at this subroutine. Right, so what was I thinking about? Oh, so we branch if it's positive. It's negative in this case, so we compare y to A7. Kitty says me program. Yeah, she does that. Let's look at this, because this could be on a timer, and this could be like, we could be looking at stuff that happens when a beep doesn't happen, instead of when it does happen, if that makes sense, like the time in between beeps. So let's take a look at this code. Let's set a breakpoint for location F048. F048. So this is where it all starts. So on the left, we're looking at a snapshot of what happened before a log. And on the right, we're looking at what's actually happening in the emulator right now in the debugger window. So over here in the log, we skipped this for this particular frame. We didn't actually get here. So what do we do here? We load something. You know. Sorry, I'm just going to take a look at this for a second. Again, this kind of looks like a timer. I may change this value and see if it beeps faster or slower. This, well, hang on. Let me think before I say stuff. So F07B is possibly of interest. F047 returns from the subroutine. F063, I don't know if we actually end up here. set a breakpoint here and check it out. And here. So what I'm after here is to see, do we hit certain things only on the frames where the beeping starts? And I'm pretty confident at this point we're not going to break anything by doing this. I'm now just interested in how this thing works and explaining it to everyone. So let's take a look. Hey, no, you can't stand on the keyboard either. No, you can't do that. Yeah, just a minute. Almost done. Alright, so I need to undo the change so it starts beeping again. Hey. Beep's coming back for a minute. That's our jump sound. So probably this whole routine here is sound things. So we only hit this F of 4/8. We only hit the subroutine that plays any, or that plays a beep sound, or any sound actually. Sorry. That didn't make any sense. We only go into the subroutine when a sound is played, a sound effect. So this is probably the general play me a sound subroutine that we're in right now. Didn't hit our other breakpoints though. Okay, I'll be right back. I should feed her. Got to look out for number 1. She gets a beef and carrots entree. Sometimes. And sometimes she gets chicken and tuna. Thank you, good to be back. Yeah, I looked for the best cat food. And what I came up with was essentially that you want stuff with as high protein content as possible and lowest carbohydrate content possible. These were on a list that I found. Figuring that out is not straightforward because the labeling regulations are not the same as for humans. So they don't have to publish macronutrient content like protein, fat, carbohydrate. In terms of grams, they're allowed to say stuff like minimum protein content, which doesn't allow you to calculate it. But there was a group that took a bunch of stuff and sent it to a lab and then had them do an analysis. So assuming that things have stayed the same, that's a valuable way to figure it out. I do what I can. Sometimes she just goes and gets birds herself anyway. Okay, where were we? This looks like a sound effects playing routine. There's a bunch of branch statements, meaning that a lot of this stuff doesn't get executed under certain conditions. So I'm just setting some breakpoints to see when stuff does get executed. This may set up the I don't know what's going on. It could be like save stuff like music. It looks more complex. So this is probably our jump sound. This may be our damage sound. Hi, Murik. Looking at this more, this whole subroutine. Ah, never mind. Stand by. Let's look at A5 again. How's it going, Murig? Alright, so A5 is used for more than just the death beep. Again, A5 is 0 when you're just standing there. When you jump, A5 becomes 8-0. And that's also used to play a sound effect for the jump. Using the same subroutine. Why, I'm not sure. It could have something to do with how, like, when you're beeping, you beep faster when you throw weapons and stuff. Like, it could be processing the interactions between the beep and the other sound effects. I'm not sure. Thanks for saying hello, Murig. Enjoy a busy night. Okay, let's play around just a little bit here. I want to see what happens when I change this value. LDY 17. I'm going to change this to something else. Let's change it to 07. So maybe it's the type of sound effect, the waveform. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's a sound effect type? Okay. So we select a sound effect that way. I'm thinking each sound effect has a value, a number. Maybe. Yeah, I think it's likely to be something like that. So we're telling it which sound effect to play with that instruction. So this transforms the value into something else. Interesting, neat. Okay, I got off track though. Now we know what to do, we can patch this. Hypothetically, we can patch this. So let's again find that instruction that changes to A1. Alright, that changes A5 to 1. So, where is it? Here, okay. Not 5 ID, welcome in. That's a story. We're doing a minor quality of life hack for StarTropics 2. Welcome, Not 5 ID, good to see you. Are you a StarTropics fan? A low health noise, we're making it go away. That's great. I've never played this one. I've only played StarTropics 1, played it for the first time last year. Bought the cart, really liked it. Totem Lord Reviews, thank you for the raid. Centaur 84, welcome. Legis 42. Let me know if there's a better pronunciation there. Welcome in, everybody. Totem Lord Reviews, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. First try. Hopefully I can do that every time. That's very cool that you speedrun the first one, Not 5. I've seen it done. I've not attempted that speedrun myself, but I've seen it done. It seems pretty challenging because it's kind of a longer speedrun, right? Thank you for the follow. Centaur, I appreciate it. Thank you. Totem Lord, we're ROM hacking StarTropics 2. I haven't actually played it myself. So we're doing this for Lobat here in chat. They played StarTropics 2 and mentioned the low health noise. That came up in conversations. I said, well, let's see if we can remove it. It's too annoying. So we found out what we need to do. We found the instruction we need to change. Now we're going to generate a patch file. I would like to play it though. I bought the cart last year, played through StarTropics 1. I really liked it. I liked how it was different. Not just another JRPG. There's a lot of really good ones, but the island theme is kind of fun and interesting. The art style was different. It was nice to see something a little unique. They're trying to put together a randomizer for the first one. Oh, who's behind that? I have not heard about that, but that's interesting. Vowel Co. Nice. Sure, I'd check out that Discord. Thank you. Maybe. I'm a pretty beginning ROM hacker. But I've figured out a few things from doing Blaster Master. We've been doing Blaster Master disassembly and ROM hacking streams for a few weeks now. Let me see if I can figure out the best way to show this stuff here. Thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. So we're going to make an IPS file to patch the ROM. To do that, we just need to change this or A01 instruction to no ops, meaning don't do anything. So that is, where is that? Let's go there. In the ROM offset 34730 0901. So we need to change these two values to EA from 0901 to EAEA. So I just take a note of that. So it's actually offsets 3473E, 3473F. Totem Lord, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming and bringing your friends and introducing yourselves. That was great. Have a good rest. Likewise. And it's pretty much all retro here. So here's what we gotta change. We got to make an IPS file, and I've never made an IPS file because I've never distributed ROM patch before, but I was looking into it a little bit earlier today. So let me bring this window with the information over to the screen that you're looking at. Hopefully that'll work. Centaur, and this goes for everybody, of course. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd try to explain some things, but I don't explain anything from the beginning necessarily, because that would take too much time, but I am happy to. If anyone has any questions, just ask. I'll be happy to explain anything. So if anyone has used a ROM hack before, we make patch files. And we do this because we can't distribute the patched ROM legally. But we can distribute what basically amounts to a list of instructions of what to change in the ROM to make it become the ROM hack, basically. And that's called an IPS file. So if you ever used a ROM hack yourself, you probably used an IPS file or something similar to that. And downloaded a patcher like Flips or something like that, which loads the IPS file, loads your ROM, and then applies the change. So I've never made one, but I was looking into it. It looks pretty straightforward. So basically we have to make a file and we have to put patch into the first 5 bytes. And then it's a series of hunks. By hunk they mean change, and the end of file marker. So let's try it. So I have a hex editor here. I'm bringing the keyboard shortcuts up in my other window because I've never used this before. Stand by, just reading the instructions. Okay. B-A-T-C-H. On the right it shows what letters are. This is a binary file, meaning that it's going to be just a list of hexadecimal values. So I could look up an ASCII table, ASCII being like the letter that corresponds to the number. So I could look that up and just look up the list of numbers, or I can use the hex editor's capability to just type in letters over here and get the right number. So patch, and then followed by the series of hunks and the end of file marker. So a hunk is a 3-byte offset, followed by 2-byte length of the payload and the payload itself. So 3-byte offset. So this would be our offset, 3473E. So that's going to be 03473E, I believe. 2-byte length of the payload, 2 byte length of the payload. So the length of the payload is 2 bytes. EA, replacing 0901. 2 bytes, so I think that's going to be like that, because the length of the payload is 2. Sorry. Yeah, we described the length with 2 bytes, but the length is also 2 bytes. So this first thing is 00. Like if there were more than FF bytes in the payload, we'd come into here and this would be the next place. If you had more than 256 bytes to patch, basically, which is what FF is in hexadecimal. We only have 2, so this top value is empty. And then the payload itself, okay? So the payload is EA. So that's one hunk, that's the only hunk. And now we just use the EOF and a file marker. Capitals. Yeah, 45, 4F, 46. So that should do it. So let me figure out to save this file. How to save. Okay, we're done. So let's patch the ROM. And let's see what happens when we do that. So we got our normal beeping ROM here. And let's see, I'm going to use flips because I've used it before. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll check it out. Apply patch. Let's try it. So apply patches. Here we go. No beep IPS. Select file to patch. That is zoda.nes. Now we're going to save it. Zoda. Or we'll call it nobeep.nes. Applied successfully, it says. So I don't really trust myself because this is the first IPS file I made. I may have gotten that wrong. So what I want to do is print out both ROMs and just look at the differences between the two. So I'm going to hex dump both ROMs to files. That's not quite how I do it. Like that. Okay. So I just made a listing of all the bytes in the file. Both files, the patched and the unpatched. And now I'm just going to look at the differences between the two. There should just be a 2 byte difference, exactly where I expect it. What am I doing? Okay. No. Oh, so I did it in the wrong place, it looks like. Yeah, I did it backwards. Oh, I just typed the wrong thing, I guess. I don't know what I did. 03. Wait. How do I undo? Undo. No undo. Oh, 3473. Okay, let's try again. All right, that looks better. Because we're looking at this row. All right, it starts at BD, 6C, A7, 85, into 0901. And we need to make this 0901 both EA. So actually, let me just do that. And now we're looking at the diff. So the top is the original and the bottom is our patched. And yeah, so it looks like we got the right row and the two values we want to be changed are changed, so we can test. No beep. So I should be able to load my save state. Yeah, it works. And maybe this will work, maybe it won't, we'll see. Here, let me turn off music for a second. No beep. So we got it. We can die with the same quiet and peace with which we lived. Thank you. Yeah, not too bad. It was fun. It took a little while to get on the right track, which it always does when you start looking at code for a new game, because they're all different. I'm kind of looking forward to playing Zoda's Revenge myself with no low health beat. So the last thing to do now is send the IPS file to Lobat on Discord. And I guess I might put it on romhacking.net also, if I can figure that out. Hey, you're very welcome, Lobat. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad it came up in conversation. I was actually looking for something to do this week on the disassembly stream, so this is a good change of pace from Blaster Master. Yeah, I guess, but it's there for a reason, right? Thank you for the follow. So I think we're all set here for now. We'll have to test it thoroughly. There's a chance this could break something else. We'll find out. There's also a chance that whatever ROMs are floating around are not all the same. And if that's the case, we might need to find different patches for different ROMs. It'll probably be the same code, but just like in a slightly different place or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what versions of the game were released. But I think this should work. So let me take a break. What time is it? 10:30. So I'll go for a little longer, but I think I'll switch over and play Super C. I was playing that last night. We got to the last stage. I might see if I can finish that up. So if you're interested in seeing that first playthrough, feel free to stick around. And I'll be back in, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. I'm going to refill my beverage, get that stretch break and all that. Enjoy the lurks. And thanks for the follows, I really appreciate it. Let's go, Super C. I'm having fun with this. I think we're all set. So yesterday we got all the way to what I think was the last area inside the belly of the alien. Then there were some aliens with very fast bullets coming out of their mouths. They hit us and we died. This game is very cool, though. I like it, and they improve certain things. The flame weapon is better in this one. I think it was too slow in the first Contra. Oh. Shits and giggles of the raid. Thank you, Shiggles. How are you doing? How did the stream go? Tell me about it. Gardic phone? What's that? 69 420 Shig raid 420 69. I like the sound of that. How's it going, Chadleywick? Whoops. I looked at chat. I can't help it though. Gotta look at chat. Drawing games like Pictionary, huh? Wait, is that what I'm thinking of? Where you draw stuff on teams or whatever, and people try to decide what it is? A free web-based Jackbox kind of thing. Nice. Not 5ID. Have a good rest. Thank you for coming in. Good to meet you. Thanks for sending me that Discord. What kind of inappropriate things are you going to tell us? It's like telephone. Give a prompt and they draw. Oh, that sounds fun. Nice. I can't draw. Never goes well. Boom. You do our centaur? What kind? What kind of media? Oh, Robert DeGlass? I don't think I said hello. So, hello. Oh, those are really nice. That's great. I was thinking about getting some commissioned at some point. Hang on, I want to take a look. Yeah, I like those. Yeah, I would like the link because I'd like to take a closer look when I can see the bigger versions, you know? Oopsie. Rip spread gun. Thank you. Yeah, I'll try to drop by sometime. Now we're at the mini boss of the pea shooter. Good. Spread gun is the thing that you just want to have all the time, right? Bleeding. I actually want flame for the next boss. It seems to do a little better. You're right, Mishers. For Contra and Super C, anyway, I'd say that's true. Contra 3 rules are maybe a little different. So I mentioned this a couple of times, but I would like to do a Contra marathon. Do all the games back to back. Contra, Super C, Contra 3, and Contra Hardcore. I think that would be a lot of fun. So that's one reason that I'm doing this. I wanted to play through it anyway, but it's one reason I'm doing it, because this is the only game that I haven't completed yet in those 4. Wait. No, I don't want that. Oh, if you like the others, Mishers, I mean, if you enjoy Contra, I would definitely recommend Contra 3. I love that game. If we somehow were to finish this one early and I felt like punishing myself, then I might just roll into Contra 3. We may have missed the spread gun there. Yeah, Mishers, you said you have to go to work early tomorrow, right? Unless you call in sick or whatever. Yeah, don't do autocorrect. I'd rather just spell it wrong and be stupid. It's a foul bomb. There we go. Mash, mash, mash. You said it. Spreading freedom all over everyone's face in here. Alright, time to get the chandelier boss out of the way. Oh, dude. Right at the end, too. That's easy to get right, but it's also easy to get wrong because it sort of waits for you. Anyway, that's fine. We got 4 lives still. The menorah boss, yeah. That might be funnier than chandelier boss. I want a jetpack. The tracksuits are pretty dope, I agree. I think they're supposed to be aliens at this point. I think that's why they're exploding. Get out of here. Okay, inside the alien phase 1 of 3 so far, I think. Accidental weapon pickup. come on, dude. There is a Starship Troopers vibe, I agree. I see it. Yep, more terrifying version of the last thing. We can PB. PBing would almost be winning the game, since I think we died pretty close to the end of it. So is this where we left off? I think so, because we're in the esophagus now, and I think that's sort of where we were. Oh no, actually, because there's a boss down here. At the end of the esophagus, we beat that boss. So whatever comes after that, that's where we are. Yeah, we're pretty close. The next area is where we died. These are obviously aliens because they have funny alien hands. Probably shouldn't have gotten this. I got it last time. Kind of regretted it then too, but I don't know. I forgot that there were another couple of footballs there. Uh-oh. Oh, cheap. Oh, we're here with the pea shooter. This is not good. Alright, dude. Not fair. Okay. So I think we need to be on the right. So there's a football on the left and one on the right. We need the right one, because that one has a spread gun there. So we missed that, so we had the laser in the wrong place and took a death. So let's make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah, the whole scene is pretty gross. Walking down the esophagus and into the stomach. I got it again. Right. No. Okay, we really need to trade this. There. Good. You having a contest over there? Gothbot. I really want to get down there with spread, so okay, let's not pick up the laser. You can tell we've only played the stage once, because we blow through everything until we get here. Ooh. Oh, come on. Okay, keep this. Spread's good for this because we just do this. Oh. This is where we ate it last time. We died on this walk last time. I keep thinking that's going to crush her head, but it doesn't. It just stops short. Just makes it so you can't jump, I guess. Yeah, it is a Mario room. Glad you're feeling normalish today, though, mistress. Talking shit is a normalish mistress activity. At least when Mirig's around. Oh, dude. I didn't know. How do I damage this? Oh, like that. I love that boss, and I really like how they have the same bosses in multiple games. Like that boss is in Contra 3 also. And in Contra Hardcore, actually. Oh, we won? Mistress, you always had my airport. 100%. So I guess we won. It felt kind of like I got the bad end, like I was supposed to do something else to get to the real final boss, but I guess not. Okay, nice. We've done Super C, so now we can do that Contra Marathon, huh? The airport autocorrect is pretty good. Enjoyed it. Hey, let's send a raid someone else's way. This was fun. Fun to have some new people. It's entirely just... I had a pretty good time doing that. I wasn't sure, especially after having to start late, if we'd be able to finish that ROM patch in time. Kind of an unknown, but it worked out. Yeah, nice meeting you, Centaur. Follow and I'll check out some VODs and hopefully check out a stream at some point. Who are we raiding? We could go to Arctic. He's doing Mike Tyson's Punch Out with bongos again. I've enjoyed seeing that. J-Dub is doing Mega Man 11. Which, that's cool. Let's head over there. Let's raid J-Dub. Do some Mega Man 11. I don't think I've seen that played, really. But I appreciate all of you. This is a lot of fun. I'll be back tomorrow. So, Robert Douglas, he redeemed Sonic the Hedgehog. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Probably a full playthrough. Assuming I don't get motion sickness, which can happen sometimes. Bolt. Robert Chadleywick, Shitsus, and I are on the cult. At least I think I am. I know they are. Yeah, I started getting motion sick from some games about 10 years ago, and I don't know why that started happening. It just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know if Sonic's going to do it, but it's on the list of things it could. Fingers crossed, no, because I want to play through it. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. Yeah, thanks for the good luck. And thanks for the GGs, that was fun. Okay, yeah, thanks again everybody for being here. I really appreciate you. You're still here. Thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. That was fun. Let's head over to J-Dub. J-Dub is doing Mega Man 11. He's been doing a lot of Mega Mans recently, and speedrunning Mega Man 2, and just tied me for that, actually. Alright, let's head over there. Good night, everybody. Good to see you. Have a good one, and I will be back tomorrow.
What up, Jill?